growers are managing their K kind of in a number of different ways. What are some of the typical ways a grower might apply K as far as timing and sequence, as far as fall, spring, lay-by?
So if you look at historically, all our K used to go out in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
So as our soil tests have gotten lower, we've changed our strategy as to when K is applied. If you're a couple hundred parts per million, it doesn't matter when you apply K. You can apply SOP in the fall, just doesn't matter.
Yep.
But as we get below that 100 part per million mark, and it appears it's about that 60 parts per million to 80 parts per million where we start having some pretty severe problems with K supply. Okay. So then we have to think about pre-plant application, we have to think about lay-by applications, getting that application closer to peak uptake for the potato plant. And basically we talk about last pass through the field.
Sure.
So peak uptake is usually mid-June to early July.
And can you talk a little bit about that peak uptake, that demand of potassium kind of through the season, how dramatic that peak is and kind of how it fits relative to, again, back to some of the NPK discussion.
Phosphorus will peak at about 1 pound per acre per day. Nitrogen will peak at about 7-8 pounds per acre per day. Potassium in potato peaks at about, and it depends on the year, depends on the variety,
sure,
somewhere between probably 14 and almost 20 pounds per acre per day. So, 7 pounds per acre per day, we can water run nitrogen all day long.
Right.
We got solution 32, UAN, phosphorus, pound per acre per day, we band it. We rely on that band for a good bit of the time, and then we can start water running 1034. But potassium, because that demand is so high and our soil tests are so poor at supplying it, that we have to be much more careful. We can't water run it, and well, we could water run it, but you just almost can't get enough on water
right,
running it because the peak is so high.
So talking about, obviously that big peak demand, and you alluded to it, potassium fertility and potassium management is something that a grower or crop advisor really has to be in front of.
Yeah.
Because if
they have to pay attention.
If you get deficient, it's going to be pretty tough to start making a rescue type application when it comes to potassium.
It really is too late. Because, 15, well, let's call it 20 pounds per acre per day. You put a tank load of K out there,
sure,
it's tough to run 40 pounds of K. That's 2 days.
Right.
And then you're reloading, going again. So it's just extremely difficult to catch up with K. It's because it's a numbers game.
Right.
You just can't fight the math.
And when we're talking about, getting behind or maybe not starting the season off with enough, what's that going to translate into a yield penalty?
Well, the K trial we did earlier, we saw about a 10-ton increase with K applications.
Which is
so
very dramatic when it comes in terms of production, but also at the end of the day, the pocketbook.
Yep.